Matchday 2 in La Liga. EA Sports brought us the game between Deportivo Alavés and Real Betis at Mendizorroza. Alavés were set for their first home game of the new season off the back of an epic 10-place finish last season, but also looking to bounce back from defeat to Celta on the opening day of the campaign. As for Betis, they made the trip north, having drawn with Girona at home on Matchday 1, and with one eye on their Conference League tie on Thursday after this game. But both sides coming into this one mainly looking for their first 3 points of this new season. It was an emotional start to proceedings at Mendizorroza as flowers were handed over to the family of Fermín, a worker at Deportivo Alavés who sadly passed away over the summer. It was a lively game from start to finish, really. Clear-cut chances took their time to come, it's fair to say, but Alavés were much the better side in the first half. First chance came from a mistake from Diego Llorente, who then made up for it by blocking the shot from Guevara from the edge of the box. Betis in the first period were really mostly resorting to long balls or the occasional cross. This one was played in by Aitor Ruibal to Juanmi. But the man who was on loan at Cádiz last season was unable to put this one into the back of the net. Ended up putting the ball over the crossbar. It's a lovely ball in there from Aitor Ruibal, who yet again was leading the line for Betis. Chimi Avila was waiting on the bench. It's a lovely ball out wide from Aitor Ruibal. To Ruibal, I should say, from Pablo Fornals. And the cross comes in. Juanmi just unable to finish it off. Alavés, though, looked lively and even put the ball in the back of the net through Carlos Vicente. Konechny with a lovely ball in from the left, but it was ruled out for offside. Now, Carlos Vicente was not in an offside position, but Quique Garcia was. And even if he doesn't touch the ball, he is obviously trying to go for the ball. And therefore, that does count indeed as offside. Here we have it with the semi-automatic offsides quite clearly. Quique Garcia in an illegal position. Therefore, no goal for Carlos Vicente. Stoichkov was making his first start for Alavés. Started this play, then ended up with a cross down the right from Tenaglia, but it was easy pickings really for Rui Silva. Aitor Ruibal here tried to catch out Antonio Sivera. To lob him from an awkward angle, but it was nowhere near hitting the target. In fact, Betis did not hit the target until the final minutes of the second half. Sivera having a very calm first 45 minutes. Rui Silva much busier of the two keepers. This one, though, going straight across the face of his goal. Carvalho was playing in midfield alongside Marroca. He won the ball back. Cross then came in from the right, but ultimately again, similar finish to the early one for Juanmi in the sense that his effort high and wide over the bar. Betis really struggling to hit the target. William Carvalho was up next. Shooting practice may be needed for Manuel Pellegrini's men. Despite Carvalho having the space after a nice little flick from Nabil Fekir, couldn't keep the shot down. Betis were slowly building, but not causing too much threat for Alavés. This was a golden opportunity for Fornals to get on the end of a good cross down the left from Ricardo Rodriguez, but Ruibal just got a touch, putting off his teammate, and therefore the chance was wasted by the Andalusians. Ricardo Rodriguez making his debut in Spanish football. Images now of the second 45. Manuel Pellegrini actually opted to make his first change, bringing on Roman Perot, the left-back, replacing Ricardo Rodriguez, who had a really torrid time keeping Carlos Vicente quiet. Konechny had the first chance for Alavés, heading it wide, but Alavés did keep on coming in the opening stages of the second half. Again, it was the Argentinian winger winning a corner on this occasion. Kike Garcia keeping the chance alive. The man who scored the goal for Deportivo Alavés away to Celta in that defeat on the opening day. Betis grew into the matchup in the second half and really were the better team of the second period overall. This was really the beginning of that progression from them. A good break on the counter, but then Nabil Fekir really running out of options and going for the shot himself. Nowhere near the goal though for the Betis captain, who is one of just 3 players who stayed in the starting 11 from the side that played on Thursday in their first leg of their Conference League qualifying tie. There was then a talking point here when Diego Llorente went in for a challenge on Nahuel Tenaglia, won the ball cleanly, but obviously there are a few fouls for a penalty. Tenaglia, on his way to ground, actually caught Llorente in the face with his studs, and Llorente needed to go and stop the bleed, but it was still a brilliant tackle from the former Leeds United defender. Konechny and Tenaglia both came close here to getting on the end of this cross. Just a bit too much on it from Antonio Blanco. No connection with the ball. Silva just watched on. Chimi Avila and Abde then came on, and Abde, in fact, with his first touch, had this header from a corner go over the crossbar. Betis, though, yet to hit the target. Abde then believed he'd forced the first shot on target of the game. Was denied by Civera, but he was actually offside, running in behind Carlos Vicente. Good ball over the top, though, from Marroca. Not enough, though, to beat Civera at his front post on that occasion. Nice quick feet from Marc Bartra would start another counter-attack for Manuel Pellegrini's side here. And this was the best chance probably of the entire game. It dropped for Nabil Fekir, his first effort. And this finally forced Civera into his first save. He really should have done better with that one, was unable to take it. And ultimately would just end in a corner. It's a good ball sprayed out wide from Pablo Fornals. And you really do expect a bit better from a player with the quality of Nabil Fekir. But that wouldn't be the only big chance that he would miss in the game. Firstly, though, Abde would force another save out of Civera, but a fairly simple one. On target, but no real trouble. Carlos Vicente was still causing havoc down the right-hand side. His cross just missed by Silva. Came off the chest of Marc Bartra, despite a few shouts for a potential penalty. And here came the second clear chance for Nabil Fekir. Some great work from second half substitute Chimi Avila, playing the 1-2 with Abde and then laying the ball off. And Fekir just missing the bottom corner. Some great work from Chimi, clearly onside here, as we can see. Just teeing up Fekir perfectly onto his preferred left foot. And yet, he was unable to put the ball into the bottom corner. Manuel Pellegrini, from the sidelines, actually thought it had gone in. But it was just the wrong side of the post for the Betis captain. There we see Manuel Pellegrini getting caught out. And then he realized it was still 0-0. Final minutes of the game, so Alexander Sedlar sent off as he was the last man. Completely taking out Chimi Avila with a high arm. Sedlar, who was coming back from a very long-term injury. His first game back at Mendizorroza in a long time, and yet it was a sour ending for him as he completely caught out Chimi Avila. From that corner, Avila almost scored an absolute blinder, but it was saved by Sivera, a brilliant save. In fact, it was going into the top corner after a slight deflection. But still, how about that for a reaction move from Antonio Sivera to keep it at 0-0 when his side were down to 10 men towards the end of the game. In the end, the points were shared after a goalless draw at Mendizorroza between Deportivo Alavés and Real Betis.